Narendra Modi and Mr. Amit Shah, it's very difficult to define or describe, leave alone predict what is going to happen. Because all the names that come to mind are there in the list of the cabinet ministers who are going to take oath right now. And knowing very well that the BJP strictly follows one man, one position, especially concerning the organization and concerning the government. So they are not going to take that chair. So yeah, like Brajesh, I throw up my hands. It's all yours, Karthikeyan.
Okay. Dr. Verma?
I would not so much give up on this, Karthikeyan, and I would still think that these rules are not finality, that one man, one position. And looking at the new dynamics of the political scenario, the BJP can revisit this kind of a rule. And I think that we may be in for some surprises. That's what I am reserving my, opinion on this particular point. Who will be the next president of the BJP? But I also, it's very strange that none of us are able to visualize any person who can fit, step in the shoes of Nadda. So, I mean, this is really a puzzle right now before all of us and before the nation, that who next is the BJP president. But my hunch is that the BJP will probably revisit, if it is a rule, they can revise the rule, and there's nothing wrong in that. And maybe that for some short period, there can be some additional, responsibility bestowed on Mr. Amit Shah.
Additional responsibility, Brijesh?
Could be, because, honestly speaking, this is one thing which, many criticize Congress for and all, that, you only one person and all has to be the right to be the chief of the party and all. I think, but, in the last 10 years also, the appointment of JP Nadda was not as if, some sort of contest was being there. The only person who has the ball bearings to be the Bharatiya Janata Party's chief right now, given the fact that they have to navigate perhaps the choppiest water of Modi era. I'm not going before that, but of the Modi era, in the sense that that there are two crucial elections which may put additional burden on the government, which is the Maharashtra and Haryana, both of which are with BJP and its allies. And you have to have somebody with the authority of Amit Shah. Until unless you have the authority of Amit Shah, or you have, that absolute faith connection with the top man, you will not be able to take a position, and it always has to be, you always have to second guess your act and all. JP Nadda, it was very clear who was running the party and who was running the government. So, nobody was in any kind of confusion. But right now, barring any big surprises, Dr. Verma is hinting at, and rightly so, I'm not getting into any debate there, given the last 10-year experience. But I think, nobody readily comes to mind who has the required authority. JP Nadda, if he didn't have the authority, at least he has the stature. Right now, you can't random think of anybody who has the required stature, if not the authority, to be the BJP party president.
Yes, I kind of agree that, a person needs to be either completely a dark horse appointment, or person is there and right in front of you, and one of them goes on to become the president of the party. But that's for the later to be decided. But Dr. Verma, do you think that the Raisina Hill ministries will be representing continuity, or do you feel that there will be a rejig in terms of new people and in terms of reallocation? But before I go any further, let me play out the bites that we have got before the function begins at 7:15. Let's play out all the reactions we have.
शपथ समारोह के लिए जा रहे हैं, तो मंत्री पद भी मिल गया है।
ये तो आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी और हम सबों के पार्टी के नेता माननीय मुख्यमंत्री नीतीश कुमार जी ने भरोसा जताया है, और उस भरोसे पर पूरे तौर पर खरा उतरने का प्रयास होगा। तो मांग हम लोगों ने नहीं रखी है, किसी मंत्रालय की मांग नहीं रखी है। ये कहाँ से खबर आई हमको ही नहीं समझ में आता। कोई किसी मंत्रालय की मांग हम लोगों की तरफ से नहीं हुई। ये प्रधानमंत्री जी का विशेषाधिकार होता है कि वो किसको कौन सा विभाग, किसको किस विभाग के लिए उपयुक्त समझते हैं।
ये देश विकास की राह पर तीव्र गति से आगे बढ़ रहा है। खास तौर पर हम जैसे युवा सांसदों को उनके अनुभव से सीखने की बहुत ज़रूरत है। उन्हीं का अनुभव का आज लाभ लेने हम लोग वहाँ गए थे। प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कई ऐसी बातें हैं जो हम लोगों को बताई, जो हम लोग के लिए सीखनी भी ज़रूरी हैं। आज बहुत इनफॉर्मल बातचीत प्रधानमंत्री जी के साथ बैठकर हुई।
100 दिन के एजेंडे की बात की गई, योजनाओं को लेकर।
या आने वाले दिनों में सारी बातें सामने आएंगी।
मैं सबसे पहले तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को उनके तीसरे कार्यकाल पर बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं और बधाई देता हूं, और उनके जो सभी माननीय मंत्री बने हैं उन सबको हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं, और शानदार काम वो करें, अगले 5 वर्षों में देश को आगे बढ़ाएं। जहां तक मोदी मंत्रिमंडल का और आज शपथ ग्रहण समारोह है, उसमें आज मन की बात से जुड़े हुए बहुत सारे लोग यहाँ पर हैं। यहाँ पर विकसित भारत अभियान को चलाने वाले सभी वो महानुभाव हैं। यहाँ पर नमो ऐप पर जुड़ने वाले वो महानुभाव हैं। बहुत सारे खिलाड़ी हैं जो इसमें भाग लेने आए हैं। ये लोग वो हैं जिन्होंने अलग अलग क्षेत्रों में बहुत नाम कमाया है, अपना काम किया है, और इनकी पहचान दुनिया के सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने अपने मन की बात में कभी उल्लेख किया, कभी विकसित भारत एम्बेसडर के रूप में। तो मुझे लगता है इनके लिए भी बहुत हर्ष का पल है कि ये लोग भी आज मोदी जी के मंत्रिमंडल के शपथ ग्रहण समारोह में जुड़े हैं, और मेरे लिए सौभाग्य है कि मेरे निवास स्थान पर आए हैं। हम यहाँ से शपथ ग्रहण समारोह में जाएंगे और वहाँ पर शामिल होंगे।
मैं ऐसे कहना चाहती हूँ कि पूरा कायनात ने निर्णय कर लिया है, पूरा कुदरत ने निर्णय कर लिया है, प्रकृति ने निर्णय कर लिया है कि हमारे मोदी जी ही तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री बनेंगे। चाहे कितने भी विरोधी शक्ति अपना कितने भी चाल चले होंगे, लेकिन इसका कोई फायदा नरेंद्र मोदी जी पर असर नहीं पड़ेगा।
ऑप्शन बिल्कुल कुछ नहीं, हमारा सपोर्ट बराबर एनडीए को है। कुछ उसमें कुछ गड़बड़ नहीं, आप फिक्र मत।
देखिए बात सही है कि हमको राज्य मंत्री स्वतंत्र प्रभार के बारे में सूचना मिली, लेकिन मैं स्वयं भारत सरकार का कैबिनेट मंत्री पहले रह चुका हूं, और इसलिए हमने उनको यही कहा कि भाई देखिए, ये आपने जो ऑफर दी है, हमें खुशी है कि आपने हमको एक सूचना भेजी, लेकिन मेरे लिए थोड़ा ये कठिन है कि हम ये पोस्ट को हम पूर्वी में मैं कैबिनेट मंत्री रहे कारण मैं नहीं स्वीकार कर सकता। इसमें कोई ऐसा मतभेद नहीं है, कोई मतलब जो भी कोई अटकलें लगाई जा रही ऐसी कोई भी बात नहीं है। सब कुशल है, सब ठीक है, और हमको ये भी कहा गया है कि कुछ दिनों की आप राह देखिए, हम इसको दुरुस्त करेंगे। लेकिन आज के आज हमारे लिए भी ये संभव इसलिए नहीं, और पार्टीज के लिए भी हमने जो बात की है, निकष लगाए हैं, इंक्लूडिंग महाराष्ट्र में शिवसेना जो है, जिनके साथ एमपी चुनकर आए हैं, उनके साथ भी जो हम लोगों ने निकष लगाए, उसके हिसाब से आप प्लीज आज के आज इसको इंसिस्ट मत करें।
Doordarshan is bringing original and exclusive coverage, which serves as the national broadcaster, bringing these rich and vibrant visuals into homes across India.
राष्ट्रपति भवन की भव्यता 330 एकड़ में फैला हुआ, जिसमें संजीव जी 340 कमरे हैं। इसके निर्माण में 70 करोड़ ईंटें लगी। राष्ट्रपति भवन की केवल मुख्य इमारत ही 5 एकड़ में फैली हुई है। भव्यता देखिए, आप स्क्रीन पर हम देख पा रहे हैं। इस भवन के सभी गलियारों की कुल लंबाई लगभग 2.5 किलोमीटर है। भवन में 227 स्तंभ हैं। इनमें छत पर तश्तरी नुमा फव्वारे शामिल हैं, जिन्हें आप अपने स्थान पर बैठे बैठे देख सकते हैं। ये इसकी भव्यता है। प्रांगण से भवन में प्रवेश करने पर 31 चौड़ी सीढ़ियों के बाद ईसा पूर्व 3री सदी की शानदार रामपुरवा बुल स्थित है, जो सम्राट अशोक के शासन काल में निर्मित एक स्तंभ का सबसे ऊपरी हिस्सा हुआ करता था।
उमा, अगर आप विस्तार की बात करें, ये वो इलाका है जिसे जब 1911 में नई दिल्ली की नींव रखी गई, ये तय किया गया, तो पहले तो दिल्ली की राजधानी किंग्स कैंप की तरफ बनने को थी, लेकिन जो इसके वास्तुकार थे एडविन लचन्स और हर्बर्ट बेकर, उन्होंने तय किया कि रायसीना पहाड़ी पर इसे बनाया जाए। पहाड़ी की चट्टानों को विस्फोट के जरिए तोड़ा गया और फिर ये जगह बनाई गई। और उसके बाद ये भी मानना पड़ेगा कि यहां तक बड़े बड़े पत्थर लाने के लिए खासतौर पर रेलवे लाइन बिछाई गई थी। कई ऐसी बातें इतिहास के पन्नों में दर्ज हैं, लेकिन आज मौका है आज के इस भव्य समारोह की चर्चा करने का, यहां की उत्सुकता और जोश को यह समझने का कि अब बस कुछ ही समय बाद यह समारोह जब प्रारंभ होगा, उसी की प्रतीक्षा में हम सब, पूरा देश बैठा है, क्योंकि लगातार तीसरी बार, ये देश में दूसरी बार ऐसा होगा जब कोई प्रधानमंत्री लगातार तीसरी बार प्रधानमंत्री के तौर पर शपथ लेंगे। नारायण राणे।
We can never talk about the future or the present without looking back at the past. A little known nugget about Red Fort is that Mahatma Gandhi was one of the earlier visitors here. The Viceroy, Lord Irwin, had invited him for a meeting. Mahatma Gandhi carried with him a little salt to add to his tea as a mark of protest against the British salt tax. The series of meetings culminated in the famous Gandhi-Irwin Pact that was signed on the 5th of March 1931. And the anticipation here, the excitement, is reaching a new height.
यहां इस समारोह में शामिल हो रहे सभी अतिथियों और देशवासियों के चेहरे पर सुकून और उत्सुकता देखते ही बन रही है बिजनेस टाइकून। यहां पर मुकेश अंबानी, उनके साथ फिल्मी जगत के नामचीन सितारे शाहरुख खान भी इस भव्य और ऐतिहासिक समारोह में शामिल होने के लिए पधारते हुए, यहां पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जगत प्रकाश नड्डा भी दिखे। शाहरुख खान इस समारोह में शामिल हो रहे हैं और जैसा कि हमने शुरू में ही बताया था कि फिल्मी जगत की कई नामचीन हस्तियां इसमें शामिल होंगी। मुकेश अंबानी के पुत्र अनंत अंबानी भी यहां पर इस समारोह का साक्षी बनने के लिए उपस्थित। अपने आप में बहुत ही ऐतिहासिक अवसर है। एक तरफ सुकून तो दूसरी तरफ उत्सुकता। सुकून एक दृढ़, मजबूत और प्रभावी सरकार के हाथ में देश का नेतृत्व सौंपने का। उत्सुकता भावी भारत की तस्वीर को लेकर, वो तस्वीर जिसमें सबकी प्रगति, उन्नति और तरक्की हो।
You were talking about tasveer. What is interesting here is everyone is on selfie mode. So you see superstars taking pictures with politicians and politicians taking pictures with superstars. A very interesting time here. See people interacting with each other. There's so much joy, excitement, a sense of warmth, and of course bonhomie as people from across party lines and from across professions are coming together for this historic special occasion.
ये एक भारत श्रेष्ठ भारत का भी शानदार परिचय है ये समारोह।
This grand space has borne witness to countless moments of national importance, serving as the stage for the oath-taking of Prime Ministers. And as we stand here today amidst the grandeur of Rashtrapati Bhavan, we see film stars walking in. Rajnath Singh walks in among many prominent leaders. The forecourt, with its timeless architecture and regal charm, serves as a poignant reminder of India's democratic ideals and its journey towards progress and prosperity. From the ashes of colonial rule to the vibrant democracy we cherish, and here walks in Kangana Ranaut, still riding high on her victory from Mandi.
बिल्कुल सही कहा प्रिया। ये हम यहाँ पर इंक्लूसिव गवर्नेंस की एक तस्वीर देख रहे हैं जहाँ सब शामिल है, वो सभी लोग जिन्होंने देश की विकास गाथा में अपना बहुमूल्य योगदान दिया है। देश आज अंतरिक्ष पृष्ठभूमि में एक चमकता हुआ सितारा बनकर उभर रहा है और इसमें हर किसी का पुट है, हर किसी का योगदान है। चाहे वो अधोसंरचना की बात हो, महिला सशक्तिकरण की बात हो, ग्रामीण विकास की बात हो, सब में देशवासियों का भी
And Uma, that was a visual of Chandrababu Naidu of the TDP, one of the key players in this formation, this coalition. Let's talk a little bit, Sanjeev, about the procedure of today's ceremony. And of course, Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi has arrived here. It's so good to see him healthy and so active.
डॉक्टर मुरली मनोहर जोशी, नीतीश कुमार, एनडीए के महत्वपूर्ण घटक दल के नेता, और उनके साथ बंगारू दत्तात्रेय को हमने देखा, डॉक्टर मुरली मनोहर जोशी, जो मंत्रिमंडल शपथ लेगा उसका दृश्य इस समय स्क्रीन पर, और ये सभी दृश्य दूरदर्शन की ओर से। चंद्रबाबू नायडू जो एनडीए के घटक दल टीडीपी के नेता और नवनिर्वाचित मुख्यमंत्री हैं आंध्र प्रदेश के।
Okay, so this was the the way the official broadcaster covers this ceremony. It allows you a peep into the way the entire function is addressed, because they have got the entire itinerary in their hand. It's a very
and also the rich heritage of this place.
Rich heritage. They can go by building. They they can go by the people they are there. They have the entire I would say lineup which is there.
Absolutely.
And
the best vantage point there
the
to
best
capture
vantage point, they can actually
individual.
see people,
Yeah.
they can actually describe them as to who is talking to whom. So in a way, I would say that it's a different way of coverage, and the sort of light transformation you are watching is because of the fact the sun has set behind the President House. Yeah. So the closer you are sitting to the President House, the lesser the light you have, and the farther away you have, the more the light you have, because the sun would be visible from there. That's number one. Former President Ramnath Kovind's wife, she's there, and I think the daughter is also there. Yeah. The religious dignitaries have been seated in the front. Yes. Why did Modi start this forecourt ceremony?
This is more in sync with the kind of democracy we are. It sends a message that when I'm if I'm the Prime Minister because of the people, and when I am holding this, my oath-taking ceremony is being held, it should be held in open, and people from all walks of life, people from diverse culture, be it business, movies, cricketers, media, other walks of life, they should be part of this swearing-in ceremony, and it sends a perfect message across also, see Rajnikant, superstar Rajnikant also here. Minutes before we saw Shah Rukh Khan along with Mukesh Ambani, and then after that we saw Kangana Ranaut walking in, to address this swearing-in ceremony. So I think people and stars from all walks of life, a galaxy of people walking in to be witness this momentous occasion. And very interestingly, Karthike, since we all are political animal, how can we not discuss politics? Is like the seating structure, which is much on predictable lines, but the seating structure is that after Prime Minister you have Rajnath Singh, then Amit Shah, Nitin Gadkari, then JP Nadda, and then Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and post that Nirmala Sitharaman and S. Jaishankar. So it's extremely interesting to see the entire. There is JP Nadda, who's all set to be part of Narendra Modi cabinet. It'll be very interesting to see who gets to be the next president of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Who gets to be the next president of the Bharatiya Janata Party?
There.
Who gets to be the next finance minister of the country? Whether the home portfolio is retained by Amit Shah. These are the questions that will be, these are the questions. Unless and until, the portfolio distribution list is given out today, people will be asking, kya hoga? That's one. And the second thing is that this neighborhood policy is, is right in front of us. The dignitaries from Bhutan, dignitaries from Nepal, dignitaries from Maldives, dignitaries from Bangladesh, dignitaries from Mauritius, they have all arrived. But from Pakistan, Myanmar and China, we have taken a call that they will not be part of this August ceremony. Obviously, that they have been holding a lot of anti-India positions. The only exception that we have made is Maldives. The only exception. Jayanto, correct? That's the only exception we have made, Maldives?
Yes, indeed. That is despite the recent development that has happened in the island country. Despite that, Narendra Modi has invited the Maldivian Premier to be part of this particular celebration, if I can call it that. Sometimes back we were talking about why the forecourt, Kartikeya. If you look at the people who have been invited, it is not only our immediate neighbors who are here, but this particular group of people, it not only includes the celebrities and the gliterates and the politicians. There are also construction workers. There are also sanitation workers. There are the representations from the third gender. So you see, to invite all of them, make place for them to sit and kind of witness, if I can call it a historic moment, because after Nehru, Narendra Modi will be the first Prime Minister to take on the third time in a row. So they had to, there was no other that they could accommodate so many people. You see the forecourt. We have been there earlier also, standing there waiting for the people to come out after meeting and talk to us. And it's all full. If you just saw the last shot that we saw on your channel, it was all full. So to accommodate this wide variety and the number of people, I think, and yes, I agree with Brajesh, to give it a touch that to be part of the country, to be part of the people, I think that is one reason that perhaps this venue was chosen right outside the Rashtrapati Bhavan, Kartikeya.
Okay. So that's the reason. So it's I think another 10-15 minutes away. Brajesh, another 10-15 minutes away.
I think Kartikeya,
Sheikh Hasina's daughter has
Sheikh
come.
Hasina and Sheikh Hasina's daughter has come. I think another 15-16 minutes. I think Prime Minister is going to come.
She tweeted a photograph, Sheikh Hasina. I think I think Rajbhog. I think she was eating one of the dishes. It looked like a
Raj Kachori or something.
Raj Kachori something. Let me Google it. I think she was eating Raj Kachori. And
I think her daughter tweeted about that.
Yes. And I think she was eating Raj Kachori, and they were saying, we were, it's like stacking before the big function. Yes, go on. You're saying something.
So I'm saying that, in another 10 minutes or 7-8 minutes, we'll see Prime Minister Narendra Modi coming, and after that, at around 7:10, 7:11, we'll see the President coming, 7:13, something like that, and post that at 7:15, the program is to start with oath taking of private. There, Mallikarjun Kharge also there, putting an end to the all kind of.
Anant Ambani is also there.
Yeah, Mukesh Ambani is there.
Mukesh Ambani,
right
Shah
behind,
Rukh Khan,
right behind
Ronak. I think yes, Mukesh Ambani, Anant Ambani, Shah Rukh Khan. I think the entire BJP ecosystem is there, apart from a few critics.
No, it's not a critique and all. I think, with the BJP ecosystem and it's natural, if Congress is forming government, people who are close to the Congress ideology.
There's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong.
You showcase your strength.
You showcase your strength, and it's all right. I mean, if you don't get your ecosystem be part of this grandeur, then there's no point inviting them to be part of the ecosystem.
In fact, I would say the Congress was slightly more elitist. I would say restrictive about it. It has never opened up Darbar Hall ceremonies like that. You would only have the MPs and those people, for the swearing in, and their immediate families.
To each his own. I think, many believe that this could be a closed door event, and, all these things. The current Prime Minister think otherwise. So I think, it's part and parcel of how you perceive your public policy and how you perceive your politics per se. And it's very, very interesting to see, how everything is moving out.
I think in next
is
5-10 minutes. But this Ajit Pawar thing is very, very surprising.
See, I'll tell you one thing. If I may just take 30 more seconds.
Sure.
One thing is very clear that that the BJP will have to display the kind of adroitness which is required when you manage coalitions, because right now all kind of things are flying thick and fast as far as state of Maharashtra is concerned, and you never know under which pretext of insult within quotes parties can return back to their parent cadres. So for BJP that could turn out to be a very, very embarrassing situation. So it'll be extremely interesting to see whether they will be able to impress upon the NCP faction, to be part of the NDA as quickly as possible. So I think, that is going to be very, very interesting to watch out for. There, the Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud.
D.Y. Chandrachud is here. Oh yes, he's walking. I think in the next 4 or 5 minutes the Prime Minister will come. I think as per the protocol, the last person to arrive is the President.
The last person
to arrive is the President. You'll have the National Anthem. Before that, the Vice President would come, and I think before that the Prime Minister. So in the protocol, I think he's at number 4,
something like that.
Number 4 or 5, because the Chief Justice. Yes, he's in number 4 in the protocol. He's in the number 4. So I think the protocol 3 and 2 will kick into action in some time. It's a hot day, I must say. I don't know what arrangements they have done. And then you have those foreign dignitaries and ambassadors who come there, and it's even hotter for them, Inside Rashtrapati Bhavan, it's a different.
There you can have the temperature under your control. Outside, you are at the mercy of the Mother Nature.
You are at the mercy of the Mother Nature, and you see, you have to understand it's all stone. It's all stone and bajri.
So all amplifies the heat.
It really amplifies the heat. But then, everyone is here,
I mean, Karthik, it's too big an occasion for anybody or for
but
any
surprisingly, no pun
to give it a
intended,
miss.
Ambani's are here, but I haven't seen Gautam Adani in the visual as of now.
I think he may be either on his way or must have, we might have missed him. Chances of it is likely that you're going to miss him. But it's...
Where? I don't see him. I see the former president. I see Arif Mohammad Khan, Nitin Gadkari, JP Nadda, Shivraj, Rajnath, Amit Shah, Smriti Irani.
General VK Singh.
General VK Singh. Oh, VK Singh has also been dropped, yeah?
Yeah. No, VK Singh was not given the ticket.
He was not given the ticket, yes.
VK Singh was not given the ticket.
Not given the ticket. It's end of the road for him in terms of his political career.
Kind of. It looks like that. In politics we can never say never, but kind of.
I think VK Singh retired in 2012.
He retired in 2012. He was given a MOS charge in 2014 and 19, both government, and which he performed to aplomb. And in 2019,
I think he had a 10-year-long career in the government of India, and I think that's admirable. 10 long years you have after retirement.
After
he retired as the army chief.
24, the party thought otherwise. They felt that that there's always a need to rejig your equation. But one fact is also there, that he won the seat of Ghaziabad in 2019 with a very huge margin. Somewhere like a 4-5 lakhs. This is Nirahua, I guess. This
is
and Manoj Tiwari.
And Manoj Tiwari.
Nirahua and Manoj Tiwari.
Nirahua and Manoj Tiwari are there. So now we are waiting, I think, for the Lok Sabha Speaker, the Vice President. Then
there's no Lok Sabha Speaker as of now, Karthik.
There is no Lok Sabha Speaker as of now?
Yeah.
Who else?
So most of the political dignitaries are there. Businessmen, superstars like Rajnikant, Shah Rukh Khan, they all are there. Seers.
Yeah, the Seers have come, the Saints have come.
Pawan Kalyan,
Nitish Kumar, Chandrababu Naidu.
It's interesting to see
Pawan Kalyan's wife is there. Pawan Kalyan's wife is there. She's there. On the right hand side of Pawan Kalyan. Then I think a lot of MPs are there seated behind Pawan Kalyan. So at one point of time when Vajpayee was the Prime Minister, Chandrababu Naidu used to be called the Kingmaker, the man who would run the coalition.
What a turnaround of fortune for Chandrababu Naidu, to be the next Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh with an absolute majority and be a kingmaker simultaneously in Narendra Modi government.
Jay Panda is here.
A very happy man, I must say, right now with the decimation of BJD.
Jay Panda.
The company, the government which was hounding him, along with his wife.
Yes. Oh yes, absolutely. And it's very interesting. He must be laughing, he must be laughing,
Thrilled to the
Naveen Patnaik has been dethroned.
Om Birla
has come.
Lok Sabha Speaker, and also
so in the order of precedence, I think 2 more to go. 2 more to go. After this, we'll expect the Vice President.
I think, there's no particular order of reference right now, because people are coming in.
Yeah, but I think once the Lok Sabha speaker comes, the vice president, there will be vice president, and after vice president,
could be,
before vice president, you'll have a prime minister. Prime minister has to come. He has to be seated, and then will come the vice president, and then will come.
It's about to start in 15 minutes. So I think
so the prime minister will come first, then the vice president, and then the president of India. That's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to be.
Is it the Maldivian?
Yes,
Maldivian.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the Maldivian, yes, yes.
So I think apart from Prime Minister Narendra Modi and stars, he's also one of the star attraction. Given the kind of
people are, or I would say that people would like to know that he's a very pro-Chinese person. People call him the Chinese stooge in Maldives, and they have invited him. He has winded down a base in Maldives, and he's here, and we are trying to make an exception.
I think it's a very smart strategy play, Karthikeya, because you cannot in foreign relations, as in most part of life, you cannot have permanent friends and enemies. Only have permanent interests, and I think it's a smart ploy by the government of India to invite him to the swearing-in ceremony. I think it also gives Indian government a chance to to interact with him and.
The vice president has come, Mr. Dhankar.
Is he Mr. Dhankar?
No,
he's not Mr. Dhankar.
Vikram Singhe.
Yeah.
Ranil Vikram Singhe has come. I'm sorry. The Sri Lankan Premier, Ranil Vikram Singhe has come. He's a pretty, I would say he's a pretty cool guy. I had the opportunity to meet him in Dubai. In my previous organization, he was not the Premier. He would just come with an attendant and 2 bodyguards. And it was so easy to sit and talk to him in a party, and he had no airs, and he went on to become the most acceptable faces. And that I have noticed about a lot of Sri Lankan politicians. Maybe that's the nature of it, but then I had the opportunity to interact with him and be with him for 2 or 3 hours, apart from the fact that he was part of a function, but to be with him, and it just shows the other side of the politician's personality when they are out of power, how they behave. That's even more important. So it was pretty cool when he, the way...
also reflects the kind of cloth you're cut from. So, if you're confident, sure of yourself, usually airs are like, when it comes to how confident you are in life and your position per se.
Vikram Messi is also there.
Yeah, Vikram Messi
Rajkumar Hirani is also there. They have, I think a lot of people from Bollywood have come. Prime Minister has again showcases cultural, filmy, social, literary strength.
I would say that this is like a very complete diverse group being assembled there. You have stars, businessmen, men from common route, workers who have worked on the new parliament, workers who have worked on the central vista system. This is Bansuri Swaraj, daughter of Sushma Swaraj.
Dr. Verma, the entire, everyone is here, Everyone is waiting for the big movement, huh?
I mean, if you look at the invitation and a diverse, gathering here, you have a feeling that the government has a plan to, democratize even the oath-taking ceremony. I mean, it's not a closed door ceremony where some very elite kind of people are invited. This is a people's government, and you cannot imagine the joy of the people who build a parliament and who had been invited to this ceremony. I mean, it gives you a sense of elevation and also a sense of admiration for your work being recognized, because you feel so important. VVI person, an ordinary worker, having been invited to this kind of a function, which is not even, accessible to the ordinary citizen of India. So this gives you a feel that even this government cares for the people who are subaltern, who are marginalized, who are at grassroots level. It's not that they have built the temple and go away, nobody knows, the faceless people. So this is their lifetime, a property that they will always cherish. They will tell their children, they will tell their neighbors, and they will tell the society that, well, I was a part of that, this kind of a function. I saw by my own eyes so many world leaders and also the Prime Minister and the ministers taking oath of office. That is the beauty of our democracy. So what the Prime Minister has in mind, I always, feel that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, Sabka Prayas, the kind of phrases that he has coined, it's not just a phrase on paper. He is actually trying to translate this entire thing into a reality, and that is the beauty of this gentleman. So therefore, if you examine the poll results, you will find that at least in dozen states, the BJP had swept, and there is therefore no national single narrative to define what has happened to Modi 3 and why the seats have come so low, not even touching 272. And therefore, I must say that the Modi himself probably realizes that where he has missed the bus, what has gone wrong, and therefore he cannot blame this kind of a mandate as a defensive, portioning of himself, and that's why he has been very generous in this invitation and invited Lord of Karthikeyan.
I agree with you that this election has changed a lot of things. It has showcased BJP's strength, it has showcased BJP's weakness. It has a spring in the opposition's feet. It doesn't mean that they have come to power, but it has given them enough oxygen to be a powerful force in the parliament. So the people have voted both a government and an opposition together. So from the Congress side, I can see Mallikarjun Kharge, and I don't see many other leaders there. But I remember first time
Mallikarjun
Kharge is there.
Yeah.
So I remember for the first time, it was a melee when the oath took place outside. In
2014.
Yes. and the outgoing dispensation had no idea, how the, departure, going in and things would take, because they were so used to doing it inside. And I remember at the porch, I could see Rahul and Sonia Gandhi standing there, not confused, but because the car had to come to porch, and this was the first time they have done it there. So they went to the other side, they had tea. I think Ghulam Nabi Azad was there, they had a cup of tea there, then they came back. So it was completely different, and I also felt slightly
taken aback,
because I was also used to inside different halls. First the president would go, and then the prime minister would say it, and then the ministers would go. Where to stop the prime minister. Then a little bit of interaction with the ministers, and then you get a bite and a quote, and you would run outside, get your mobile phone, and break the news. But that was not the case. This Anurag Thakur. So either he's getting a big role, or he's going back. And third thing, everyone knows.
Well, there's no going back, so I honestly don't know that, because, it's a bit surprising that he didn't make the cut. Especially, he's among the 25 or 24 ministers, MOS cabinet included, who have lost in this particular election. So it's very interesting to see that, he couldn't make the cut as one of the cabinet ministers. But I think we'll have to wait and watch for a while if he is really destined to, or have been sounded out for a bigger role in organization. So that is also, something which you have to wait and watch. But with no denying the fact that his omission is a bit surprising one.
How many ministers are getting sworn in today? Is it more than 60 today?
Approximately 50 or 60, yeah.
And the topping is at 81.
Topping is at 81, yeah. 81, 83, yeah, something like that.
Oh, the lights have come. The Rashtrapati Bhavan is looking so beautiful. If there's some ambience, can we play some ambience? If there's some ambience to the visuals?
Anticipation and excitement, spiritual gurus, Smriti Irani here on the screen.
The official commentary, I would like to go back to Jayanto, that's the official commentary. This is, I would say that, Prime Minister is leaving for abroad. I think there's a function. I think he's leaving for Italy next week. So he has his itinerary full there. And the Deputy Chief Minister of UP is there. Dr. Verma, what is happening in UP?
I think very interesting thing has come out, Kartikeya, and I must make a mention of it.
Who can stop you, Vijesh?
Well, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, the IT minister and someone who took on Shashi Tharoor, has made a very surprise announcement on social media, X. What Rajiv Chandrasekhar has said is that today curtains down on my 18-year stint of public service, of which 3 years I had the privilege to serve with Prime Minister Modi ji's term 2.0. I certainly didn't intend to end my 18 years of public service as a candidate who lost an election, but that's how it turned out. My deepest thanks to all those I met, all those who supported me, and in particular, all those karyakartas and leaders who so inspired and energized me. Thanks also to my colleagues in government over last 3 years.
It's a big breaking news.
It is a big breaking news.
Rajiv Chandrasekhar has announced his retirement. He has announced his retirement from politics, public service.
Public service, and this is the second person who has...
I think that's the news we are breaking. We'll have it on a, we will have it very soon. Rajiv Chandrasekharan has announced his retirement from public life, which means that when he went, he was told that there will be no more Raj Sabha.
I think so. I think, and interestingly, Shashi Tharoor immediately,
Can I have a look at that?
Yeah, please.
Can I have a look at that? Can you just open that phone for me, Brijesh?
I think there's a slight hitch, because this is what Rajiv Chandrasekhar has tweeted. And now after reading this, when I'm pressing on this tweet, it cannot retrieve posted this time. Please try again later. So, but this is the fact. See, Rajiv Chandrasekhar tweet. Okay. And then Shashi Tharoor commenting on it, but now when you press on it, but I think it's
so that's very today
very amusing and very startling. Now you can't access the tweet, but if you go by the face of it, you can see the tweet.
Dr. Verma, this is like storm in a teacup. The former minister announces today curtains down my 18 years into the public service, which 3 years I had the privilege to serve with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and then he deletes the tweet.
Oh no, he deletes it after good 17-18 minutes, 20 minutes.
He deletes it after 20 minutes.
Because Kartikeya, it was very harsh on his part, and you are not expected to make these kind of comments simply because you are out of the cabinet.
एक चीज मैं बोलूं, कोलिशन सरकार को कवर करने का मजा ही ये है। कहने का मतलब है, मजा ही ये है। मतलब बताइए कितना बात करने को मिल रहा है आपसे, मतलब सवाल नहीं हो रहे खत्म मेरे पास। मैं यूपी में पूछना चाह रहा था कि तलवारें निकल गई हैं अमित शाह और क्या बोलते हैं योगी आदित्यनाथ के बीच में, एंड उसके बीच में राजीव चंद्रशेखर ट्वीट कर देते हैं, एंड ही सेइंग कि मेरी पब्लिक सर्विस खत्म हो रही है, एंड बाय द टाइम आई कम टू यू अपना ट्वीट डिलीट कर देते हैं।
But Kartikeya, ideally, I would have certainly liked him to be in the Council of Ministers, even in whatever position, because like Modi has this look east and act east policy. In the same way, in the domestic politics, he look south and act south politics. So what I feel is that though he has lost, and there were some local reasons why he lost, insider outsider thing, but he gave a good fight to the stalwart over there. And I mean, there would have been a window for the party over there. It's fine that they have, I mean, their vote share, you can see it has, gone up. And even in Kerala, they have done so very well. And so, if Annamalai, I think he should be given some important role, whether in the party or in whatever way. So these guys, they were their representatives, they were their footprints in the South, domestic politics, state politics, and it's just not the end. Lok Sabha election is not the end of the road. It's the state elections are coming, and they should be gearing up the party, galvanizing the party, energizing the party. The way Annamalai did in Tamil Nadu was he got a lot of appreciation all over the country. So I think the people like Annamalai, the people like and he was doing very well as a minister. It's true that he lost, but as a minister, he was doing very well. So I think, in all fairness, his anger and his disgust was very natural. But the way he tweeted it immediately and that too just before the swearing in was unwarranted. He could have retained these tweets for some future thing. But certainly, as you say, he has immediately deleted it. Maybe the good sense prevailed.
No, I think, I think Dr. Verma, the Prime Minister has come, but I would like to add to it, as the second I flashed it in my group, office group, they immediately they said that a clarification has been issued. Now, 10 seconds later, when I went to open the tweet, even the clarification tweet has been opened. So, I think it's very surprising at what is going on as far as the handling of Rajiv Chandrasekhar's tweet account is concerned. I think somebody is either getting trigger happy or being absolutely irresponsible. But there, Karthikeya, finally the moment which everybody was waiting for has come in. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has come. It's 7:14 on the clock. So I think another couple of minutes we'll see Vice President and President of country.
The Vice President has come. The President
is about to come.
President is about to come.
नरेंद्र मोदी तीसरी बार इस देश की बागडोर संभालने के लिए तैयार.
The man of the moment, Mr. Narendra Modi, who will make history in just a few moments from now, as he returns greetings of his colleagues, of the cabinet, and people who have come here in their thousands to attend this special moment.
You know, I'm just thinking, Dr. Verma, if JP Nadda is to be sworn in, if JP Nadda is to be sworn in, wouldn't he be part of the Raisina ministry? Let me complete. And if you look at the order of precedence, first it's Prime Minister, then it is Rajnath Singh. Ye
Most likely
precedence
Defense Minister. Yeah.
Let it open up and then we will actually know where Nirmala is sitting there.
Nirmala is sitting down the corner.
So
I think
it's
there are
Rajnath Singh, Amit Shah,
Nitin Gadkari,
JP Nadda,
then Shivraj Singh Chauhan, then Nirmala Sitharaman.
So if the former president of Bharatiya Janata Party is not in the Raisina,
I
is
don't
he going to
know.
get HRD or Health Ministry?
No, maybe HRD and Health Ministry is a big ministry, Karthikeya. I mean, it's not a small ministry. You know, HRD Minister.
But he will need to go to Finance Ministry for funds.
Well, everybody has to go to Finance Ministry for funds. That doesn't mean that the Prime Minister also tried to become the Finance Minister of the country as well. You know, I think, all this thing is there when, you have a coalition government like Vajpayee ji used to have, or the UPA one where,
Is Ajit there with us?
Now the Vice President JP Dhankar has come.
Okay. So, Vice President has come.
Now Vice President has come, and I think another minute or so, once he's seated.
So, what's your assessment? Raisina Ministry for JP Nadda or not?
Yes, I thought for sure, but you can never say when it comes to Mr. Modi what he has in his mind, what are the constraints that are working, and the fact that JP Nadda is still the BJP party president. But I would have thought yes. In the past he was the health minister, did a fairly good performance. This was pre-COVID times, right? As a party president, of course, the comparison is with Amit Shah, and therefore Nadda's performance doesn't come across, and the fact that the BJP hasn't done so well in this Lok Sabha. So, a lot of it, people could sort of shove it on JP Nadda's head. But he is very different personality from Amit Shah, right? He's a very soft person. Most BJP leaders tell me कि उनके मुंह में तो शक्कर है. So that way,
That is also because Ajit, he doesn't enjoy the kind of power which Amit Shah enjoys. When you enjoy the kind of power Amit Shah has, usually you don't have to resort to shakkar to get your things done.
Possibly, but he has been a man who has always been a very soft person. I have known him for a while, even before he became a minister. In fact, I once met him in Doha, Qatar. He came with Dada Digvijay Singh. And I remember, I was a host, and he always comes across, he's never harsh in his comments. And I think his personality type. He went to an English school. He speaks, by the way, he's one of those rare BJP leaders who's very fluent in English and in Hindi. So there are qualities to him, and therefore he has enjoyed, eminent positions. But we'll see. A little difficult to speculate at this stage. But I think the interesting question still remains, who is going to replace him if someone is going to replace him in the short term?
I think it's the President House is looking splendid, beautiful. Oh, Yogi Adityanath is there. So, Dr. Verma, all the knives are out in Uttar Pradesh between Amit Shah and Yogi Adityanath?
That's doing round in the state politics actually, and it was very much in the public domain for quite some time. The kind of things that people notice in ticket distribution, marginalized of the chief minister.
So will he be, will Adityanath will be on a stronger wicket now for the 2017 in terms of demanding seats and how the election should be fought?
No, it's not a question of demanding seats. It's a question of rationalization. The kind of the people who have been allocated ticket, it was sure they will not win. So, I mean, this is the knowledge which the chief minister has, and he is the most important person to know who is not actually going to win. So, I mean, UP, because this time the caste dynamics.
The President of India has arrived.
माननीय राष्ट्रपति महोदया का शुभागमन, उनके साथ राष्ट्रपति के सचिव, राष्ट्रपति के सैन्य सचिव मेजर जनरल मनजीत सिंह बंगाल सेवा मेडल तथा राष्ट्रपति के एडीसी भी उनके साथ हैं।
Yeah. Now it starts. When do you expect the portfolios to be announced?
I think either by later tonight or tomorrow morning at around like by 10ish, 10, 11.
So are you saying that we are going to have a late night?
Maybe. But
so are you saying
by
that
2014 and 2019 experience, I think it's going to be tomorrow.
Are you saying that you, me, Vinod, Satish, our producers, are we going to stay here all night?
Doesn't look like.
Okay,
I don't see it happening any time today. Most likely it's going to be tomorrow.
Modi. मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना
सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं नरेंद्र दामोदर दास मोदी ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय संघ के प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि प्रधानमंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा।
So 72 ministers, strong Modi Sarkar, Council of Ministers to be sworn in. Prime Minister's team include 30 cabinet ministers, 5 ministers state with independent charge and 36 ministers for state. They come from all corners of Bharat, representing 24 states, leadership from across social group, 27 OBC, 10 SC, 5 ST, 5 minorities, including a record of 18 senior ministers, including ministries, heading ministries, 11 NDA allies minister, wealth of experience, 43 ministers serving third term or higher in parliament, 39 having been ministers in government of India. Multiple former CMs, 34 having served in state legislature, 23 having worked in minister in states. So it's going to be a long list.
Shri Rajnath Singh.
मैं राजनाथ सिंह ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं राजनाथ सिंह ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय संघ के मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि ऐसे मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा।
So Rajnath Singh has also taken oath. I think this Rajiv Chandrasekhar controversy has led to a social media firestorm.
Well, it has. I mean, you know, how often do you see Rajiv Chandrasekhar having this kind of meltdown? Then, you know, after 20-25 minutes, he deletes it. You know, even Shashi Tharoor responded to the tweet of Rajiv Chandrasekhar. Then the tweet was deleted. Then a clarification was issued. Then again the clarification was deleted. I mean, how often do you see that happening on the social media platform?
Ajit, what do you have to say about this Rajiv Chandrasekhar meltdown?
You know, obviously he has shown a level of what I would say immaturity on the day when the Prime Minister is swearing, the whole cabinet is swearing.
मैं अमित अनिल चंद्र शाह ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं अमित अनिल चंद्र शाह ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय संघ के मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब तक के सिवाय जबकि ऐसे मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित न हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा।
Modi's third term as the Prime Minister, but this time in a coalition government. It's going to be a different deal. You know, Ajit, I'll just come back to you. I'll just come back to you because the question which I asked, requires greater elaboration because ultimately it wasn't. It just was political lack of political sophistication. What Rajiv Chandrasekhar did, he could have done it tomorrow morning, saying thank you all of you. I had.
Yeah, it would have been completely avoidable. I think the timing, and that is the reason they must have dawned on him about the timing.
I think he must have got a call from PMO.
I didn't get you. What did you say?
He must have got a call from someone in the government. Former minister.
Maybe, you never know.
Yeah, you never know. Because who does that? Oh, Nitin Gadkari taking oath?
मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय संघ के मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवा जबकि ऐसे मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्य के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा।
So Nitin Gadkari, do you think that Nitin Gadkari will stay with his portfolio?
I think, if he's kicked upstairs, that is, if he's made part of the Raisina Hill.
He's kicked laterally?
Laterally? Laterally in the sense?
Sideways?
Sideways is to what?
I said if kicked upstairs, if I say he's kicked laterally, the sideways?
Then this means that, Nitin Gadkari's stocks have gone down because Surface Transport Ministry is a big ministry, budget-wise and all, and Nitin Gadkari is now known as a man who is working with zeal and the kind of performance he's executed in the ministry. If he's kicked upstairs, then it will also be seen as, Sangh also having a say as far as the appointment or the positioning is concerned, because, post 4th of June, a lot has been said and written about the strained ties of RSS and the BJP. The statement which was made by the gentleman who is taking oath right now.
JP Nadda makes
that BJP doesn't require RSS.
But it's a star-studded, it's just Kangana Ranawat, Shah Rukh Khan, Anant Ambani, Mukesh Ambani.
Last time also it was star-studded.
A lot of stars are there.
That is there.
A lot of stars are there.
मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धा पूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं जगत प्रकाश नड्डा ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय संघ के मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि एक ऐसे मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा।
Who's going to succeed him? Who's that one person in
Well,
Bharatiya
Karthikeya,
Janata
I
Party?
think you'll have to wait for some time because, you know, that is one question which not many are, or any of us are in a position to answer.
I think, well, let's make a guess. Ajit, do you have a person in mind who can succeed JP Nadda?
I mean, I did give out a couple of names.
Such as?
Obviously, it's my desire rather than, I can't second guess Prime Minister Modi.
Okay.
But I thought, if you forget for a moment the gossip about the sort of infighting within the BJP, I had mentioned Yogi Adityanath would be a perfect candidate for, BJP president. But obviously, then the question arises about the speculation that there is tension between him and Amit Shah.
Are you saying that the Yogi Adityanath's career as a Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh is over?
Well, what I'm saying is, a BJP...
If he chooses to become BJP president, then yes.
No, suppose tomorrow we are thinking of Yogi Adityanath as a future Prime Minister, then it does help the fact that you have been a party president, right? I mean, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was never the party president, but he was at the organizational role in Uttarakhand, in UP, in other states. So I think that gives
he also served as organizational secretary of Bharatiya Janata Party from the RSS. So, he had that pan-India experience for, I think, 1 or 2 years, whatever he had.
No,
he had that exposure.
He had the experience. He
had that exposure.
And he also had the exposure of Delhi as well. So it was not like when he was the Chief Minister of Gujarat, he had no idea how Delhi was.
He had both the exposures. He had both, Prime Minister had both the exposures.
Right. So from that perspective, I'm saying he would be a candidate with a lot of energy, right? He'll give a new kind of a vision to the entire party president's position, and he'll be in sync with the party's ideology. So in that sense, I think I'm not saying that would be a demotion for him. He has successfully won 2 elections. I mean, first one, of course, he was not responsible for the success in first time in UP, but then he was appointed. And second time, twice he has been Chief Minister of UP. So I think that is enough exposure in one state. He needs to take on the entire country. And that way the party president's position is very important. In BJP, unlike other parties, the party is as important as the government, right? BJP has the largest party, not only in the country, but in the entire world. And the kind of expansion we saw of BJP as a party under Amit Shah, that was the period when, they were expanding in all walks of life, all kinds of sectors they were capturing. I mean, the membership just shot up like anything. So my point is Yogi Adityanath is in a position, he is a person who could give that sort of profile to the BJP in the future. Otherwise, we might have some rubber stamps, but I think he's an ideal candidate for that. The other names that I mentioned, Devendra Fadnavis, but again, I would consider Devendra Fadnavis. He's been a Chief Minister of Maharashtra for 5 years. He could be in a pretty good position, but then given the fact that Maharashtra Assembly elections are coming, I would probably need Fadnavis right there. So that could be one. But these are all in the realm of speculation. None of us know the mind of Prime Minister Modi. Obviously Prime Minister Modi will discuss this with the RSS, but something I think we haven't quite discussed yet, and something very important, look at the diversity this time. 27 ministers are from the OBC community. 10 ministers are from scheduled caste community. I even saw, I forgot the number, but from the scheduled tribes. I mean, out of 72 ministers, 27 plus 10, 37 plus 5, almost 42, almost more than half are from the so-called, OBC, SC, ST community. That shows that the diversity clause is very important in this third term of Prime Minister Modi. The fact that each of these communities, which might have felt underrepresented at one time, are being given, I would say, adequate attention. So I think that is something very, very important, especially at a time when the BJP's Lok Sabha performance is not as good as 2014, 2019. Karthike.
So Jai Shankar. Jai Shankar has served as Modi 2.0. I think he's the only minister who I can say will continue to function as the foreign minister. Yes, Dr. Verma, everyone can be expected to change, but not Jai Shankar. Correct?
S. Shankar has done so very well in the foreign ministry. Now, S. Shankar has actually become a household name, I should say, because foreign policy and foreign relations have been brought in the public domain. And the kind of personality that he has, a very straightforward person, in spite of being a very serving and long diplomat that he was, he is a very soft-spoken but very straight-speaking person. He doesn't hide his, ideas in his language. No beating about the bush, and where he need to take a stand, and that demonstrates that what confidence Modi has, personal confidence on him. Looking at the background, when I was reading Modi's book in connection with some book review at Hyderabad. So I read the whole book, and in that book, Mr. Modi had made a mention of Mr. Jaishankar especially, and said that when I, as the Chief Minister of Gujarat, visited China, and that was a very unique thing. Jaishankar has written that when Modi visited Gujarat in China, then they had an interaction, and that was the first meeting point between Modi and since then Modi continues to be greatly impressed by Jaishankar. And whatever he has done in his tenure as the foreign minister is something very innovative. We have never seen a foreign minister being, a domestic person. His persona has become, everybody talks about how simple he is, how smart he is, how clearly and how lucidly he is putting forward, and the kind of confidence that the Modi government has acquired all over the globe, that confidence is there in his narration, interactions, his decisions, his pointers. That's liked by the people of India. So that confidence of the Modi government is clearly reflected in the foreign policy and foreign relation interactions by Mr. Jaishankar, and that is his USP.
That's absolutely right. And Mr. Khattar is also there. You see, he has I think it's like a golden career. Jayanto, is Jayanto with me? Jayanto, am I audible to you?
Yes, indeed.
Look at his long career. I would say 10 years as Chief Minister, 9.5 years, 10 years, almost 10 years as Chief Minister, 9.5 years Chief Minister, and now he'll be in the Council of Ministers.
In fact, when you were talking about Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh, I was thinking about Haryana, wherein despite all the allegations, all the complaints that were raised against Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar, Modi has never ever taken any rash decision regarding him. In the end, when he really had to and introduced a new chief minister in Haryana, you see he has been rehabilitated in the center. We all know that Manohar Lal Khattar himself has been a very ardent, or should I say dedicated member during the earlier days when Narendra Modi was working for the RSS. And at that time, even Manohar Lal Khattar himself, or even Narendra Modi for that, himself recalls those days when they used to go around on a scooter. In fact, just at the outskirts of Delhi in Gurgaon. So he has really kind of held his hands through this time, that little less than a decade, that he has been twice the Chief Minister of Haryana. And now I think this is the first time that he has won from Karnal, if I'm not mistaken, to the Lok Sabha. And immediately he has been inducted into the cabinet. So that goes to show that how Modi decided to stick together with someone who has been there. When Modi was he was just part of the Swayam Sevak Sangh. So yes, I think when I see him, that yes, even after his chief ministership, when he was replaced, he has now joined the Modi cabinet 3.
And interesting
Kumar
is that
Swamy.
SDK
Kumar
is,
Swamy.
SDK is taking oath, but that this is where what I was trying to point out, that when you have someone as successful as Shivraj Singh Chauhan, a decision was taken, and now you will be part of the cabinet, and someone not as successful as Manohar Lal Khattar is also going to be part of the same cabinet. So,
Manohar Lal Khattar, Kumar Swamy. I think Kumar Swamy is a lucky man. Kumar Swamy is a lucky man. I would say Kumar Swamy is a lucky man. Dr. Verma, isn't he lucky? Huge crisis, family crisis. He hasn't delivered many things. Yes, he has transferred his votes to BJP, and I think that is why he is getting this opportunity to be the minister.
True. I have also to point out that Shivraj Singh, that is there anybody else representing Madhya Pradesh, or he is the only person representing Madhya Pradesh?
As of now, I think he's the only one.
Are you sure? He's the only one?
I think, I'm not 100% sure.
See, let's not hedge a bet, because Dr. Verma, you have MOSs also. Right now, he may be the cabinet minister, but you might have MOSs.
Okay. Could be.
Okay. Because the kind of victory that he has given to the BJP, both
29-0. I mean, he has bettered even Gujarat.
So they deserve a better deal. I am not sure whether they are getting another berth in cabinet, but certainly they need. Madhya Pradesh needs to be. I mean, it's a bigger state, and the kind of victory that they have given to the numbers they have given to the BJP, they deserve a better deal than accept one cabinet position. But coming to this Karnataka thing, that is certainly Karnataka. Kartikeya, is a BJP bastion so far as the elections are concerned. And if you watch 2019, the vote share was 52%. At this time also, the JDS BJP vote share is absolutely identical, 0.5 or 6% down. So BJP has seen Karnataka as developed Karnataka as a very important state, and they might have lost a couple of seats here and there, but the vote share was very much intact, and that's very important. That's very important.
I think Brajesh is on a breaking news free, sir.
That another interesting thing has come out, which is again he says today, Rajiv Chandrasekhar has come up with a statement. Today marks the end of my this. As they sing, a tweeted by a new young intern in my team. Thanking everyone for the inspiration, support during these 18 years have created some confusion among a section of people about my future political work. In order to avoid another for further complexities, the tweet stands deleted. My work and all
let me read
as
it
a
out.
Karyakarta
Let me read it out to the viewers. This is a statement. Let me read it out to the viewers. The statement of Rajiv Chandrasekhar is, today marks the end of my 18 years long stint as an MP, my 3 years as Minister of State in the Council of Ministers under Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. This is a statement that has come from Rajiv Chandrasekhar. I am clarifying it for the viewers. He says, a tweeted by a new young intern in my team, thanking everyone for the inspiration and support during these 18 years of public service as MP, has created some confusion among a section of people about my future political work. He says, in order to avoid any further complexities on this, the tweet stands deleted. My work and commitment to taking India forward, in a particular Thiruvananthapuram as a Karyakarta of BJP, remains as relentless as before.
And this is something, a very needless controversy at this particular moment. So, I just want to answer what Dr. Verma was asking. Like we forgot Jyotiraditya Scindia. He's also from Madhya Pradesh.
Oh yes,
Dr. Virendra Kumar Khatik, Savitri Thakur, and Durga Das Uike. So they are like 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you include Shivraj Singh Chauhan, 5 MPs from Madhya Pradesh are becoming minister in NDA 3.0 government.
Okay, please continue.
So I was telling you that in Karnataka, BJP has, developed a political capital over there, and that capital is their vote share. Seats here and there doesn't matter, but the vote share remains intact. That's very important, especially in relation to the coming assembly elections in the state next time, and so on and so forth. So, they cannot afford to lose an ally. When you have an ally, a peripheral ally, whatever it's a marginal party, this, that, whatever you may say about that. But the very fact that you are in alliance with a local, unit, gives you some better clout. That's what happened in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu, see their vote share rising. They may not have the seats, but the 7-8 parties with which the BJP tried to tie up, I mean, that gave a sense of being the party of local, and that would pay them in the future. That's what I was saying, that Annamalai should have been roped in and given some. I mean, probably he may be in the extension that happens a few months back after the swearing in. So such leaders, they need to be retained. And Annamalai is young, Kumaraswamy is young, RLD Jayanto is young, Chirag is young. So I can see the Andhra Pradesh guy, what's his name? I'm forgetting. And Modi made a very special mention that he is not just a Pavan, he is Andi. So all these kind of the people who are coming in the cabinet, I mean, you have to groom the future leadership of India also. See, so these youngsters, Jyotiradish India, of course. So there are so many people, young people, they are being inducted, and that's why bringing Kumara Swamy is a good political move for the BJP.
But one interesting thing about Annamalai, which Dr. Verma was saying, I also personally felt that, he should have been given the chance, the kind of spirited campaign he ran, and the the voting percentage increased. But right now, there's another storm brewing in Tamil Nadu, where now a section of BJP and AIADMK are blaming him that he's the reason why the BJP couldn't win any seat, and also the AIADMK didn't rose more.
Oh, absolutely. So my question to Ajit is, the way they have invested in Bittu, they have not invested in Annamalai. At least in Bittu, they have got a Jat Sikh. In Punjab, BJP is called a Hindu party, Baniya party. But with Bittu being there, they have a face there. But no such investment has been shown with Annamalai. Ajit.
Yes, of course. One, reason is the fact that Annamalai lost, and it seems that
even Bittu lost.
Even Bittu lost, but I'm saying the kind of expectations they had in Tamil Nadu kind of came crashing down with not a single seat, number one. Number two, if you remember, not only now, what Brijesh pointed out, but even when Annamalai was being named as, the sort of president for the party, there was an important section within the BJP in Tamil Nadu who was opposed to Annamalai, saying that he's very aggressive, that the line that he comes across, he kind of imposes his own line. He doesn't consult other leaders inside Tamil Nadu. So there has been a kind of opposition to Annamalai from the very beginning, and Brijesh just pointed it out right now, that an important section is blaming him. So that could be one reason. Also, I think Annamalai needs to sort of prove himself. You don't end up proving yourself organizationally if you step in as a minister pretty soon. He's very young. He's got a future. And the BJP needs to make further inroads in Tamil Nadu, which is very, very important. Anyway, Tamil Nadu is represented by two of the most senior leaders, right? Jai Shankar is there and Nirmala Sitharaman. So you have two solid senior most cabinet rank ministers from Tamil Nadu. You can't have an over-representation from a state which hasn't produced even a single Lok Sabha MP yet. So that is very important. So there are several considerations when you are thinking of the cabinet. In fact, what I should ask this question to Brijesh, that could a southern name come up as party president in the future? What about B.L. Santosh? Could he become a sort of, let's say, a probable candidate for the BJP president? He's from Karnataka, right? So,
drift of your question, but what has happened is that during the election in Karnataka, B.L. Santosh's role came under a lot of criticism. Many people say that that the strategy which he wanted to implement, theoretically, which was a very good strategy, that that all the elder people should ease out and make way for young people who would be the future of the party and also keep on delivering electoral success. But it flopped and flopped badly. And the way he dealt with the entire scenario, the other powerful chieftains of of Karnataka, starting from Yedurappa, they completely disapproved of the way he handled the entire gig. And the anger and the anger which he generated was the reason that the post Karnataka election for some months, BL Santosh was you couldn't hear the name of BL Santosh as frequently as you used to hear before. So I think that is one area where he's taken a beating. But in this government, you never know. If somebody comes who has a good understanding and is from RSS, and someone who has also cut his teeth in the electoral politics, I think that might be a win-win situation. Given the fact also that right now, post JP Nadda's statement saying that, that the BJP doesn't need RSS, someone from RSS and who also has an understanding of how BJP is working might actually work better for the party.
Did you ask this question?
No, Ajit asked me this question.
Achha, Ajit asked you this question. So Ajit, you got your reply. Sarbanand Sonowal is there. Sarbanand has not been able to make a, he has not been able to return to Assam.
Well, I mean, in Assam, Kartikeya, there's only one person who is right now there, and his name is Himanta Biswa Sarma. He has risen in the eyes of both Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well as Amit Shah, and for last 5-7 years, he has been their go-to guy when it comes to anything northeast. So I think chances of return of Sarbanand Sonowal as a major player or key factor, I don't see it happening anytime soon.
I think even Himanta Biswa Sarma is not invincible. The recent results have shown that Himanta Biswa Sarma could not manage Manipur.
Well, managing Manipur, it was a slightly different situation, Kartikeya. I would not blame Himanta Biswa Sarma for that, because you had a pretty sorted chief minister there, and he was not a political lightweight. So you could not have messed with the authority of N. Biren Singh without antagonizing N. Biren Singh. So I think that call was beyond the purview of or reach of Himanta Biswa Sarma. I think the central leadership should have gotten both of them to sit across and work out or thrash out a scenario. But I honestly don't think that the stature of Himanta Biswa Sarma has taken any beating whatsoever. He still remains Bhajpa's go-to guy or the government's go-to guy as far as, and he's the chief of. So, I mean, Manipur is a different gig altogether, but other than that, he has delivered on every single thing which the party had asked him to.
Okay. The president house looking so beautiful by every passing minute. It's changing its color. It's looking, I mean to say, it just looks so good,
Oh,
it's so much better outside. I don't know how it's, how the people who are sitting there feeling outside.
But now the weather would have been much cooler, and it's like, with lights and everything around you, it becomes all the more good to look at. And there's also a feeling, Kartikeya, that you're in a part of the history. Prime Minister taking oath for the third time. Very few times you have seen back to back, though he has not been able to break Jawaharlal Nehru's record. But I mean, still, he's a third time Chief Prime Minister, rivaling Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So it is a historical occasion right now, And very rarely you come across this kind of this kind of function.
Absolutely, absolutely. Dr. Verma, with this Council of Ministers set in, what sort of priority do you expect? 2019, Prime Minister surprised everyone with abolishing 370. Do you expect some hard decisions, or will he make them stay put for some time, put them in cold storage, rejig the working?
I think the Prime Minister had yesterday clarified about this, that there would be no going back on the agenda that he has. Of course, the compulsion of coalition may slow down a little bit because he will have to take on board all the coalition partners. That's a hard reality of this Modi 3 government. So we should not forget about that. But he has made it clear that Viksit Bharat is his agenda, and on that everybody should get ready. to implement, and everybody has agreed that this kind of a dedication, Chandrababu Naidu openly confessing that in history, very rare occasions are when you have a right leader at the right time. So all these things have been said, and the kind of body language and the tone or tenor of their speeches were there. I mean, I'm quite sure that there will be continuity with some change, and that flexibility I also expect from the Modi 3 government. There should not be any rigidity, because maintaining this government's stability is also a priority of the people of India, because people have given a mandate to this NDA, and they have also desired a strong opposition. For the first time in so many years, we'll have a leader of opposition who is an official leader of the opposition in the Lok Sabha. So all these things are there a double signal. There is a signal to the ruling party, there is a signal to the opposition. So that's, having said that, I just want to make a mention. Very interesting debate was recently going on amongst us about the Bittu and the Annamalai. Bittu, you see, he's a three-time member of parliament. He was elected member of parliament in 2019. He was elected member of parliament in 2014. He was elected member of parliament in 2019. And the kind of experience of being member of parliament, of course, from Congress party doesn't matter. But now that as he Bittu himself had said that he was sure that with Congress he is only going to sit in the opposition, and that he doesn't want. He want to work for the Punjab. So that's one thing which is very important. So even if we are lost, that making him the minister in the from the Punjab would, number one, give the BJP footprint in Punjab, and would also make the BJP not a party of non-sects, but a local party. So local leadership, grooming the local leadership, Annamalai getting leadership, Bittu getting leadership. So local leadership grooming is so very important. That is one point I wanted to make. The second is that when you were making a comparison between Nehru and Modi, that Modi is slightly different, slightly less than what Brajesh said. You see, we were in a different point of history, and that point was the background of the national movement and coming, as Rajni Kothari said, the Congress system. So everything was centered on the Congress. Everybody was a Congressee. Everybody thought that Congress is a genuine party of national liberation and national freedom movement and all that. So that was a different background. The background that the Modi government has, been having is a very different background. As we all say, 2014 we wanted a change. 2019 there was an assurance that the change has been delivered, and 2024 is a time in the history where the government, I mean, when you get things, your cravings go, man mange more kind of a thing is here. And that's why in 2014 people's craving, aspirations, they have gone up, and therefore 2024 becomes all the more challenging. And that's why there is no comparison between Nehru and the kind of stature, international stature Nehru had. Of course, Modi has also, if not exceeded it, at least he is now at par with Nehru's personality. Globally, we all know the kind of recognition that Modi has. So all these comparisons are very interesting, but we have to be very rational and very impartial and very objective in assessing.
I completely agree with you. I'm not oblivious to the fact that what Congress and Jawaharlal Nehru was, but I was merely pointing to the obsession of the current regime with Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and this comparison never arose in my head. Since it was constantly drilled into my head about the comparison which that for third time it is an equivalent to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. I don't have the bandwidth to make that comparison, so I was merely pointing out about that, nothing more than that. It's the obsession of the current regime that they want themselves to be treated on the same parallel way as Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was. Forgetting what you very articulated very well about how the Congress was then and how this is a completely different phenomena. I completely agree to that, and I always accept it. But the fact is, I was merely pointing out to what the BJP has been claiming for a very long time now.
I actually thank you, Brajesh, for raising this issue. Many people would not think like this, and you gave a food for thought. I mean, so this is just, how some ideas come to your mind. As a student of the subject, we are drawn to immediately the comparison things, and that gives us some motivation to think about, study about this, how they were similar, how they were different. Of course, the future historians will make a good comparison because now Modi deserves to be compared with Nehru. So that will come later on, but just thank you for this pointer and gave me a food for thought.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, today is the day when, you know, the government is being formed. A lot of people, senior people are sitting, you know, where they thought, you know, would they find
one
themselves to be.
One very interesting thing is very Kartikeya that, you know, with Joel Aram taking the oath and also Dharmendra Pradhan, you know, the number of contenders or the list of contender for the post of chief ministership in Odisha is getting less by the minute. So
less by the minute?
We'll be very interesting to see, you know, who gets to make the cut. Whether it's going to be Sarangi or is it going to be, you know, Mr. Murmu, the CAG, who's now being talked about as a wild card entry, or, you know, Jay Panda, you know, who knows how to run the administration and is a pretty well-known face from Odisha as well. Because that is also one key area to look forward, because as per the state DGP and the state chief secretary, you know, they're in the next 2-3 days, we might see swearing in the state of Odisha as well. And Odisha. There, you know, I mean, what many thought of would be in the center actually happened in Odisha. Complete annihilation of BJD. You know, the BJP winning 20 out of 21 seats and forming a majority of its own as far as assembly, which was, you know, many were predicting, many of us were giving higher numbers in the Lok Sabha, but nobody saw the kind of tsunami that was there, you know, in the assembly election. In Odisha.
Absolutely. Giraj Singh is not looking pretty happy. You know, I saw his interview also. He was on slightly.
I honestly think, you know, don't see that. I don't think that Giraj Singh has any reason to be unhappy about. You know, the kind of ministries he held. You know, it was one of those ministries which was held by Raghuvansh Sabu, and he made a history for himself. You know, he's still fondly remembered as a person who kind of revolutionized the way the entire thing worked. I mean, he had you know, rural development ministry, fisheries, and many other ministries. You know, budget-wise, he had the biggest ministries to himself. So I don't see, until unless he knows something which we are not aware of, he has been able to make into Narendra Modi's cabinet, and you know, he has been a big minister himself, a big portfolio to himself. So it'll be interesting to see what he gets. But I honestly don't think that he has any reason to complain or grouse.
He has no reason to complain. Absolutely has no reason to complain. In next 1.5 hours, we'll see all the ministers taking oath. I think tomorrow morning the portfolios will be redistributed. All eyes will be on the Raisena portfolios. I think even the you know, Minister of State, the job at the Raisena, Minister of State for Finance, Minister of State for Home, Minister of State for Defence. You know, these are Minister of State for External Affairs. Mrs. Lekhi is not there. Someone will get that chance from the, you know, from Bharatiya Janata Party. So it's going to be a very, very interesting thing. You know, Ashwini Vaishnav. Ajit, do you think what sort of a future do you see of Ashwini Vaishnav in this government?
Right. I mean, what is there for Ashwini Vaishnav to complain about?
Ajit.
Look, he's one of the, he's projected as one of the smartest ministers in the BJP cabinet. Although I remember that last year or year before, I think last year, there was this major accident, railway accident in Odisha. In fact, 3 days earlier, I had met Ashwini Vaishnav in a get-together of the BJP, and he was talking. He gave the speech there, and 3 days later there was this massive railway accident. But otherwise, the impression is because of his background. You know, he went to IIT. You know, he speaks English very well. He is from Rajasthan, but he has a Rajya Sabha seat from Odisha, and he's supposed to be hyper efficient, young, dynamic. So, you know, he was the railway minister, and maybe he might be given a new portfolio, which brings me to the point that, you know, once the cabinet sort of is sworn in, the two most important things would be the first 100 days when the big time reforms would be announced. And I think in about, again, the better person to answer is Brijesh, but within 5 or 6 weeks, we have to present a budget, right, for this new government, for this year, 2024, 2025. So the big focus is going to be economic reforms. I mean, some of the figures that are coming out are obviously very good, you know. the fact that the growth rate is almost 8.2 estimate in the next financial year, and the fact that the collection of taxes has been very good. I guess on the ground there are some problems which are long term, like unemployment or the deficit. Those need to be addressed. But obviously the big bag reforms should come out in the first 100 days for the Modi government to hit its aim of a $5 trillion economy. So that
and also Ajit, I think what will happen is that the government would also not want to send out a message that it is backing out or it is kind of petering down, or as far as big bang reforms are concerned, given the fact that they don't have an absolute majority on their own. So I think that would also make sure that the government gives a pretty reformative budget, a budget which gets a big thumbs up as far as the industry is concerned, and also one very big task of is establishing India as a manufacturing hub.
Reformative budget. I think the real challenge, Jayanto, is around manufacturing. Software we have conquered, but the real problem in context of Indian economy is the manufacturing. That's where we have not done well. But I think the primary target of the Prime Minister in this tenure would be legacy. Anyone who knows that this might be his last tenure will look at legacy issue. If I may ask you, what is the legacy issue which the Prime Minister will look to?
Karthik, someone was right now talking about the next 100 days that the Prime Minister has already been planning even before we went to the hustings. Similarly, he has also unfolded a plan which is for the 100th year of independence for India. So as we talk here, the similar thoughts have also been there within the government, that this is about manufacturing that we have to think about. You have seen there was some changes brought about in the labor laws. There were some kind of over rate, but it has been implemented, and apparently that has helped in a few small industries. So I shouldn't say small, but where the output has risen, especially there are 3 hubs that are currently manufacturing cell phones for Apple, and there also this have made a difference. So it is not that we are only talking here. This has been on the thoughts of the cabinet as well as the Prime Minister also. And yes, certain steps have already been taken. But I think Ajit was mentioning about that one area that we really have to do something about is agriculture, because there are lots of problems in that particular area. Despite our section have been already addressed to, how long can you go on giving a support price to a few crops? Not all of them, not in all places. It is not uniform. It is only in certain places, especially in Punjab, Haryana, all these places, they get this kind of facilities, where it is not there in Bihar. Bihar has done with it. It's not there in West Bengal. It's not there in many places, even for cotton. So all these things, it's not only about the industry, it is about agriculture also, that we have to think about, and we have to formulate certain, there will be protests. There will be demonstrations. Whenever you want to make some changes, you want to get out of the current the situation that we are in, there will be some kind of protest and demonstration. But to think of the future, apart from the industry, apart from the manufacturing that you're talking about, Karthike, we also have to think about the changes that we have to make in agriculture. There's such a difference between the maximum land holding is by the rich farmer, and the poor farmer, despite the fact they are like 80 to 90% of the total farmers, they have much less land. So all these things have to be addressed, and I'm sure that as slowly the policies of this government will unfold, that we will get to see some kind of plan to address all these problems that we face and we may be facing in the future.
So Gajendra Singh
Shekhawat. One more thing,
Gajendra Singh Shekhawat.
The poor performance of BJP in Rajasthan, it was completely unexpected. Nobody expected this kind of a rout. And despite that, if 4 people from Rajasthan are making it to the ministry.
Why?
I have no idea. Why? Honestly speaking, because 4 people making it to the ministry, where the BJP did not perform well at all. winning only 14 seats, where approximately 2021 was something which the BJP was bargaining. They had loss of 2 or 3 seats in their mind. They knew that they are not going to win all 25 out of 25. But to lose 11 seats is something also which they also didn't had bargained for. But with Gajendra Singh Shekhawat, Bhupendra Yadav, Arjun Ram Meghwal and one another making to the Modi cabinet, I think it's a pretty big representation for 14 member of parliament.
Because I think they feel that Rajasthan can become a very problematic state for them in future.
Kartike, elections have just happened in Rajasthan, assembly election last year, general election right now. So I think another 4 years they are not supposed to have any problem in Rajasthan whatsoever. Nothing that they couldn't have handled in the next year or so.
Nothing. But I think, Rajasthan also tells you that if you don't take care of the satraps, important leaders from the state, everything can go awry. And Rajasthan is an example of it. If I'm correct, Vasundhara Raje Scindia didn't campaign outside the home district.
She was made to feel, it was a full out power play. What happened was that, state of Madhya Pradesh and state of Rajasthan, to say that the current incumbents didn't work out, or the current incumbents are, in the case of Madhya Pradesh and also in the case of Rajasthan, that Vasundhara Raje didn't perform the way it was expected, was completely wrong. And they were, Shivraj Singh Chauhan was the tallest leader, Vasundhara Raje is the tallest leader, but the attempt to undermine or cut Vasundhara Raje to size, the temptation to cut Vasundhara Raje to size, I think proved very costly in the general
Dr.
election.
Verma, आपने बहुत सारे surveys कराए हैं. I want to know one thing from you. You have charismatic leaders, you have local leaders.
Absolutely.
When you appoint chief ministers of your choice, maybe we have organizationally very loyal people. How does the voter and the cadre react to it? Like if you look at Mr. Khattar, he was a choice exercised by the Prime Minister.
Yeah, nobody knew about it.
No one knew about it. If you look at Chief Ministers of Odisha, Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, they came with an organization, but they had no...
No, even in the state of Rajasthan, nobody knew Mr. Yadav.
Rajasthan,
Nobody knew Mr. Yadav. It was the first
Madhya
time
Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, the projection was absent, but they came within the organization. How do people see it, when the question is asked, how do people interact with such politicians?
I think the general trend is that people normally expect someone to become the chief minister who is very much in the political domain, who is in their optics, and who is an important leader. Normally the traditional thinking is there. But I'll take you a little back to the 2017 Uttar Pradesh model. Did you ever expect Yogi Adityanath to be the chief minister of UP? At least I never expected.
Nobody did.
He wasn't.
Honestly speaking, nobody did. Nobody did.
Nobody did. But from somewhere suddenly he parachuted and became the chief minister. And thereafter, in spite of not being in the fray, he has earned a name for himself. He has been a performing chief minister, and notwithstanding the high-handedness that we might have seen and given him the bulldozer Baba kind of a title. But the people are so very happy because of the security environment in Uttar Pradesh has improved so very well. Of course, corruption and so many other problems. UP, is the 5th largest country in the world demographically. And therefore, the problems of UP are as large as any large country could have. So, saying that the Yogi has not been able to successfully handle Uttar Pradesh is one thing. Of course, nothing succeeds like success. So, this time he has, been on the defensive. But the people have accepted the chief minister in the same way. The people have a tendency of even accepting a person who is planted, who is a non-entity like the one we have in Rajasthan, but they had no time to perform and demonstrate to the people that they are a performing chief minister. That is one thing. And the second thing, what I am noticing in the BJP's, long-term strategy is that they are trying some kind of an experimentation with the suddenly, people who, and they are giving a signal to the performers or the party men, the ordinary and the backbenches that apna bhi samay aayega, mera bhi time aayega. So this kind of a feeling they are generating, that suddenly from nowhere you make a chief minister and ask him to work hard and then earn the people's, approval and people's mandate. So that's, I mean, people never expect that some non-entity will be planted as a chief minister, but the BJP has been experimenting this thing right from 2017 that I have been noticing, and that has been working well. Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, you have seen, they brought suddenly from nowhere that gentleman, and nobody remembers him, what his name is even. But he has, as a chief minister, the credit will also be given to him that all the seats they have been won by the. So there are experiments going on within the party, and just a minute, all the stalwarts are also getting a signal that look, it is not that the party is running on your crutches. You are not you're indispensable to the party. Howsoever Shivraj is shunted, Vasundhara was marginalized. So all the big wigs are also getting a signal that, well, you have to be a performer, but then you don't think that you are inevitable and indispensable for the party. We also want fresh and young blood to come into the party.
There's an interesting difference, when you look at the state level mechanism. They always go for, Vasundhara is a rival of Prime Minister Modi and Shah. It's an open secret. And also they wanted to fix Shivraj Singh Chauhan is also an open secret. The interesting thing is that, they don't apply the same thing in the cabinet ministry. Most of the key ministries are done by people who are not elected. Who come from Rajya Sabha, or they were different background, and they are the people who were virtually running. It was the bureaucrats who were virtually running the Modi government. Not that much in 14, but absolutely all the top ministries being occupied by them. So it's a completely different. It's interesting to see how it plays out in the center and how it plays out in the state elections.
Yes, I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with you, but I also feel that the government formations are also representations of pulls and push and adjustment apart from the competence. You need to accommodate a lot of people, and I also understand that skill set is also important. But in this government, if you see, people from bureaucracy are there, and they have been pushed to important position. Ashwini Vaishnav,
Hardeep Singh Puri, most of the people.
Dr. Jaishankar,
Nirmala Sitharaman though has a political.
Yes, because she has been a 2003. She has been there. 2003, Vajpayee appointed.
But her stature was never to be inducted into the.
She was appointed as the member of the National Commission for Women in 2003. Afterwards, she joined the, she became part of the party infrastructure.
But I'm just saying that before 2014, she was just a spokesperson.
Yes.
Her position was not that much, and definitely not to which would have warranted her entry into the top.
A lot of people were surprised when she was inducted as,
defense minister.
No, she was given the commerce. She was given commerce and independent charge. So a lot of people were surprised about it. But nonetheless, politically powerful prime ministers can take those decisions. Less empowered one will have to accommodate. More empowered one can decide the fate.
It'll be interesting to see what Mansukh Mandavia gets, because not only he comes from Gujarat, but the other fact is that he's somebody who's very, very close to Prime Minister Narendra Modi. So it'll be very interesting to see, does he get to retain health, which is a very important and a very challenging ministry.
I'm asking this with earnestness. Does it work for anyone except Amit Shah when you say he's very close to the Prime Minister?
It's when you're very close to Prime Minister, you have his trust, and if you have his trust, you do get a degree of accommodation. Mansukh Mandavia may not be the most flamboyant one, but trust me, if he is one minister who not many will try to trifle with, because people know who he is. And holding a health ministry in this country, it's a very powerful and a very challenging ministry, to say so.
Okay. I think his performance in this Lok Sabha has been appreciated,
Yeah. BJP increasing it by 100%.
Yes. So
from 4 to 8.
Oh yes. So Mr. Reddy's performance has been
and that is why Bandi Sanjay has also been included.
I was asking this question to Brijesh before the show started, Ajit. What happens to Anurag Thakur? Is it a story we are unaware of? Anurag Thakur is a real mystery to me.
Well, he was obviously a very efficient sports minister. I think Anurag Thakur, when I talked to a few BJP leaders in the past, they said he's very efficient, but sometimes he kind of goes on a limbo. He speaks his mind out, and that sometimes the RSS and the BJP leaders don't like. They like a person who's disciplined, who doesn't speak out of turn. So I don't know if if the BJP wants to put him in a more senior position in organization or something of that sort, because after all, in Himachal they just won 4 seats, right? They swept Himachal, despite the fact that last year the Congress had won Himachal in the assembly election. And given the fact that the Congress Chief Minister, Mr. Sukhu, is not a very popular leader, chances are that in Himachal there might be a change of government, or at least in the next election, Congress is likely to lose if they continue with Sukhu. So I don't know if they are grooming him, Anurag Thakur, to be the next Chief Minister of Himachal Pradesh, or they have something else in mind. But yes, it is. It comes across as a bit of a surprise. What I noticed, that not too many women ministers this time. Again, I didn't compare it to 2019 and 2014, but seems like, with a few ministers, important ones, Smriti Irani and others have lost. We haven't quite seen sort of enough representation from the women, given the fact that women turnout is high, given the fact that women have voted overwhelmingly for the BJP in many states. Somehow that seems to be missing, and the BJP is known for gender diversity as well. Finally, I wanted to make the point when we were saying that sometimes chief ministers or even ministers, they come out of the blue in the BJP. That is actually a plus factor. BJP, despite the fact that Prime Minister Modi has a towering personality, but the BJP in many senses is more democratic at the grassroots level than, say, the Congress party. Because in the Congress party, it's always the high command deciding everything. In the BJP, a lot of it is grooming of new names who have done very well, and a lot of consultations at the local level, or even consultations with the RSS and other organizations. So that sometimes gives us a new name. And since we in the media don't have a great penetration in the RSS or Vishwa Hindu Parishad or other organizations, we are not able to see through that which are the young, hardworking RSS dedicated members who are entering the BJP and rising. So, someone like Bhajan Lal Sharma coming as the Chief Minister in Rajasthan, I don't think anyone foresaw that, either in the media or even outside. I think to some extent a similar surprise came in Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh, the Chief Ministers. So that, I think, is a plus of the BJP. The fact that it still has a very strong democratic roots. The organization, even at the lower levels, the lot of local consultations, consensus reaching, elections, that I think is a very positive point.
Jento, what do you make of West Bengal? Do you feel that the state which BJP had invested heavily, which was like, they got a reward of 18 seats, which nobody had thought that they will get these many number of seats, and performance in 2024 not that big, but that bad also, winning 12 seats. Do you think that there is adequate representation right now as we speak about the state of West Bengal in the current Modi cabinet?
What I gather is that 2 representatives from West Bengal would make it to the cabinet, but obviously, since they are new as ministers, they will be at the most MOS. But if you look at the earlier tally, when they had 18, and this is a very pertinent question that you have thrown to me, because this is also being talked about. In the first cabinet that was formed, there were 2 ministers who were one left and the other was dropped. And then 4 were taken in MOS. So altogether, we can say before the reconstitution of the cabinet and later, there were altogether 6 ministers in the 2019 Modi cabinet, that is Modi 2. But in Modi 3, there are 2, as far as I know, that find a place in the cabinet. Secondly, all the more the national leaders, they are worried about the organization. There was a time when a very senior BJP leader, he had said that it looks like the BJP leaders in West Bengal, they are like four horses pulling in four different directions. And that is affecting the party over there. The lower party workers, they do not listen to their elders because the elders are themselves divided. So it seems like that this time the senior leaders from the center, they are going to make it sure that there are no such problems within and outside the party in West Bengal, and they are going to make a huge change. Starting, I think, with the president, because the state president, he has been inducted in the government this time, and we are waiting to see who is made the next state president. The most of the talks that are going on right now is about Suvendu Adhikari. You know that he has risen up the ranks after leaving the Trinamool Congress. He defeated Mamata Banerjee in his own fortress, that is Nandigram Assembly constituency. And Narendra Modi himself likes him. He likes the way that he has taken on the leadership there. But there is a section within the BJP in West Bengal which does not take to him kindly. And that includes the former president, Dilip Ghosh, who himself lost. After winning 2 elections, I can say on his own, 1 assembly and 1 Lok Sabha, he has lost this time. And the place from where he was removed, I mean, as an MP, he won first from Midnapur. He was removed from Midnapur very unceremoniously, if I can say that, on the advice of the current leader of opposition in West Bengal to the Bardhaman Durgapur seat, where he lost. And incidentally, the BJP candidate lost in Midnapur also, which was a blow. So all these things taken together, I think there is going to be a huge overhaul, if I can put it that way, of the organization. So right now, it may not be about the ministers, about inducting the leaders from West Bengal into the cabinet, but about the leaders in the organization in the state.
Dr. Jiten Singh, who has been holding the portfolio of MOS, PMO and also science for the last 2 terms. Dr. Verma, if I may come to you, as Jayanto was talking about, there are a lot of issues as far as organizational structure is concerned, vis-a-vis Telangana, vis-a-vis Tamil Nadu, vis-a-vis West Bengal. I mean, these are the catchment areas, where the BJP is trying to become big. But there are structural flaws that have still not been addressed, and there's no one single leadership which is emerging. Do you see this as problematic? A. B. Do you see, once the dust settles down on, the portfolios and who gets what and all, then the real work of organizational structure, restructuring will start right at the top as to who gets to become the president, national president, and then in various other states, including the state of Uttar Pradesh, sir? Can you unmute yourself?
I was muted. Yeah. Your question is very serious and very important for any political party, especially you have raised this question in context of BJP. I see that the government is only a superstructure, and the foundational thing is the organization. If you don't have what happened to the Congress is that the Congress organization completely collapsed. It used to be once an all India party with a very strong foundational structure, organizational structure, but somehow it frittered away after 1989 episode. The Congress party has never come back because the complete collapse of the foundational structure of the Congress party. Whatever seats they get only because of the people's push, not because of the organizational push, but because of the people. So, for example, 2009, the party got lost all seats except 3, Raebareli, Amethi, and Kanpur, but then won 19 more seats. 19 more seats, taking its tally to 21. So, I mean, that was a people's push, not because the party had suddenly discovered an organization. In the same way, the BJP was hoping to perform very well, given their vote share last time, even in assembly election, and winning a very huge number of seats from a petty 2-3 seats to 70s and all. And their vote share was also very good. Somehow the BJP became defensive because they were claiming to win more and form the government. And then the very fact that they did not protect their constituency after Mamta's win and the consequent violence that we saw in West Bengal. Most of the people became very panicky. If you might have seen them, many of them went to the TMC office and said that we want to join the TMC because of a sense of insecurity, a sense of, they wanted a protection. They thought that by joining the TMC, they will be saved of these Gundas and violent people, ruffians. So the BJP played a, very bad politics over there. They did not stand with their constituency. They did not instill a sense of confidence and, security in their constituency. And therefore, the situation that you see in West Bengal, though they might not have done very badly, as you said yourself, but certainly this was not expected. Everybody was expecting BJP to at least retain, if not improve. That is one. And this is what I see in each and every state, that the BJP will have to focus. And that's why the question that you were raising, that what after Nadda, becomes a minister and who will look after the organizational thing. This is, to my mind, is a very, very important thing, and the BJP must pay a very serious attention. And as you said that after the, this allocation of portfolio and initial appointment of minister has settled down, then organization must come to the fore if the BJP has to become a party of national stature, presence in all. Already, as we all know, they are almost replacing the Congress system by a BJP system. In already 22 states, we have the BJP or NDA government, as also the government at the center. So the BJP is truly becoming, making its footprints in almost all the states. Down the south, they have done a great southern push this time. And therefore, what I think that they should be doing good to the organization and the government also, if they also simultaneously concentrate and give very good attention to the revamp of the organization in the states that you mentioned, Brijesh.
Okay. Ajit, there was also one statement, once the results started pouring in, even at that time when the statement was made, it raised a lot of eyebrows. But as the results started coming in on 4th of June, a lot of people started talking about that statement and became one of the most discussed statement, which JP Nadda said that, BJP doesn't need RSS. And then, 3-4 days back, we did a program in which Ratan Sharda and a couple of other RSS people, they were a part of the program. And, there was a clear disconnect. There was a sense of, if I don't use the word anger, there was a sense of disappointment as how, BJP is kind of trying to become a B version of Congress party. People who are making lateral entry were getting plum posts. People who were from other parties, which the BJP was not willing to touch with a barge pole was suddenly acceptable. Do you see how do you define that statement of, of JP Nadda when he equates, says that, BJP doesn't need RSS anymore, and on 4th of June, he was forced to eat a humble pie and the requirement increases several fold. And what do you feel about this Congressization of the Bharatiya Janata Party?
Brilliant questions, both of them. I think, I don't know if Nadda Sahab made that remark as an off-the-cuff remark, but obviously...
It was not an off-the-cuff remark. There was no correndum issue to the remark. So it was clear that they were standing with the remark.
So obviously there is some kind of assessment that maybe the RSS has not helped the party seriously during the, during the campaign itself. But I think it would have been better if Nadda Sahab had not made that remark, because if you just permit me a little longer explanation, I have studied the RSS from the 1925 onwards, and the RSS was always a cultural organization, except for a very small period, and that was during 1975 when Indira Gandhi, the emergency came. That's one time when RSS started actively playing a sort of political role. And the second time the RSS did it is actually from 2014 onwards, when both Amit Shah and Prime Minister Modi actually started giving a new approach to the RSS, away from its cultural functioning, more towards election work, towards political work, directly taking RSS cadres and sort of using them in all kinds of political work. So I think the BJP needs the RSS enormously, especially now that the numbers have come down. And without the RSS, the BJP, cannot sort of win election after election in the various states and in Lok Sabha. In fact, I always thought that one of the reasons Prime Minister's success, Modi's success, compared to, let's say, even Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, was the fact that Prime Minister Modi had very close links with the senior leadership of the RSS and the various other cultural organizations. Whereas if you think of Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, I remember, several senior RSS leaders, especially those associated with the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, would openly sort of abuse or attack Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee in front of the media. We never saw that under Prime Minister Modi. So I was always under the impression that the relationship is very strong and wonderful. So I think that statement was completely out of, not out of context, but might be there was a design in it. But as you rightly pointed out, the moment he uttered that, he must have bit his lip, because right after that, the BJP's performance kind of sank. Now, that is related directly to the other question you asked, which is the fact that the number of people who came from other organizations, especially the Congress, and they were given tickets, more than 100, right? Almost, I was told by one unofficial figure, almost 30% of the MPs who were given tickets in this election by the BJP were actually outsiders. And that, I think, had brought in an element of despair within the BJP as well, the lower levels, as well as among the RSS. That was criticized enormously, because that is almost like encouraging Ayaram Gayaram politics. And basically, as you pointed out, the Congressization of the BJP. So as a result, BJP was seen to have lost its ideological sort of base in a way. And the fact that it was a party with a difference, that is ending because of immediate political ambition. So I think both are tied, and I think that might have cost the BJP this time, the fact that it lost quite a number of important strategic seats in Uttar Pradesh, in Rajasthan. Think of this. These are Hindi heartland states. Of course, in Bengal as well, and other parts of the country. Maharashtra, again, one of the sort of very important states, the second largest in the country, very important for the BJP, just heading for a assembly election. So I think maybe one of the reasons why Mr. Nadda has quickly been shifted and now being inducted into the cabinet could be one reason. That I think Mr. Nadda is not known to make such statements. I mean, he's a man with a sweet tongue. So I'm surprised that he did, and something not very good for the future of the BJP. Brijesh.
That's a very elaborate, argument for what those two questions are. Jayanto, if I may ask you, because the question which I asked, about the Congressization of BJP, of the charge which is leveled, this is the same kind of issue which was raised by Mukul Roy, if I'm not mistaken, in 2019. When he was talking about the reason why, post 2019, before the assembly election, that, the reason why we are not able to perform well is that, that not enough, though he himself was from TMC, is because, enough people are not given chances, local people are not being given chances. And, I mean, this is the same problem which they are facing, because they don't have any, the importance which is supposed to be given to the local BJP leaders and all is not being given there. So, more of a merger and acquisition continues rather than, local leaders being given the chance.
Rajesh, I look at this from a little different, almost similar, but little different way. First of all, see, any cadre-based party, wherein we see that it's the cadres who actually work on the field, they are dedicated to the philosophy, to the party line, but they do not enter directly into the party or do not want to rise up the ladder to be a leader of that party. That is the way they are. Because they are dedicated, because they want to build up the party, and that is what the RSS had been doing for the BJP. So how do a political party that is being held by these cadres, they grow in a new state? Say, for example, I'll give you the example of West Bengal. It's a new entrant. The RSS has been working there quietly for more than a decade. In fact, over a decade and a half. They have built schools there. They have worked among the tribals. The NGOs are functional there, despite all kind of opposition that they are facing from the current regime. But they have been working over there. But for the political party to grow, they have to take people. They have to poach, you can say, to turn them into leaders. So this is another problem that the BJP has been facing, not only in West Bengal, in other places also. Number three, once you are for a long period, you are in government, you are in administration, and you have a face like that of Narendra Modi and the charisma of your leaders, you tend to get a little complacent. So this has happened earlier with the other cadre-based party. We have seen that, and I think that kind of a problem is creeping in. We had been talking about the organizational problem within the BJP. We have been referring to certain states also. So now, if you look at it, that is, I think, these are the three main reasons that are coming in the way of it came in the way for Modi 3, wherein we were all very complacent. Yes, we as journalists also, we predicted something about 300 or so, that the NDA will go beyond 300. It did not happen. Even the pollsters went on. We saw that. So these are all the reasons that have come together. And once this has happened, especially that you are referring to the BJP president some time back about the RSS, that not depending on the RSS. Now, here is a strong cadre base which has been working without even thinking of the fruits of their labor. Will not it affect them? There have been talks earlier also that the current regime, the top leadership of the BJP, they do not have very good relation with Nagpur, wherein a particular minister, he has been very close to the Sangh, especially he represents Nagpur. So all these things taken together, I think it has affected other cadre-based party, and that is coming in the way. But this leadership of the BJP is very well aware of this, and I think that is what, apart from governance, they are now planned to address.
Jayanto. Hi. So I would say that if the long and the tall, the long and the tall order is that every minister will have to outperform, keeping in mind the goals which the Prime Minister has set. Let me just raise the volume. Just let's listen to the NAT.
जो विषय संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उससे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को सबके सिवाय अब की आइन से राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए अहिंसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा।
श्री रामनाथ ठाकुर।
मैं रामनाथ ठाकुर ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं रामनाथ ठाकुर ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी भी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि ऐसे राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा।
श्री नित्यानंद राय।
मैं नित्यानंद राय ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना किसी प्रकार के सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं नित्यानंद राय ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि ऐसे राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा। श्रीमती अनुप्रिया पटेल।
मैं अनुप्रिया पटेल सत्य निष्ठा से प्रतिज्ञान करती हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगी। मैं संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगी तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगी। मैं अनुप्रिया पटेल सत्यनिष्ठा से प्रतिज्ञा करती हूं कि जो विषय संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि ऐसे राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगी।
श्री वी सोमन्ना।
I, V. Somanna, do swear in the name of God that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, that I will faithful and consistently discharge my duty as a Minister of State for the Union, and that I will do right to all manner of people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, without fear and favor, affection, or ill will. I, V. Somanna, do swear in the name of God that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person or persons any manner which shall be brought under my consideration or shall become known to me as a Minister of State for the Union, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Minister of State.
डॉक्टर चंद्रशेखर पेमासानी।
I, Dr. Pemasani Chandrasekhar, do solemnly affirm that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, that I will faithfully and conscientiously discharge my duties as a Minister of State for the Union, and that I will do right to all manner of people in accordance with the Constitution and the law, without fear or favor, affection or ill will. I, Dr. Pemasani Chandrasekhar, do solemnly affirm that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person or persons any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall become known to me as a Minister of State for the Union, except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as such Minister of State.
प्रोफेसर एसपी सिंह बघेल। मैं प्रोफेसर एसपी सिंह बघेल ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं प्रोफेसर एसपी सिंह बघेल ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि ऐसे राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों के सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसा करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगा। सुश्री शोभा करंदलाजे।
मैं शोभा करंदलाजे ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूँ कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगी। मैं भारत के प्रभुता और अखंडता का रक्षण रखूंगी। मैं संघ का राज्य का मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगी तथा मैं भय और या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों की प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगी। मैं शोभा करंदलाजे ईश्वर की शपथ लेती हूं कि जो विषय संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति या व्यक्तियों को तब के सिवाय जबकि मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का सम्यक निर्वहन के लिए ऐसे करना अपेक्षित हो, मैं प्रत्यक्ष अथवा अप्रत्यक्ष रूप से संसूचित या प्रकट नहीं करूंगी।
श्री कीर्तिवर्धन सिंह।
मैं कीर्तिवर्धन सिंह ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि मैं विधि द्वारा स्थापित भारत के संविधान के प्रति सच्ची श्रद्धा और निष्ठा रखूंगा। मैं भारत की प्रभुता और अखंडता अक्षुण्ण रखूंगा। मैं संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में अपने कर्तव्यों का श्रद्धापूर्वक और शुद्ध अंतःकरण से निर्वहन करूंगा तथा मैं भय या पक्षपात, अनुराग या द्वेष के बिना सभी प्रकार के लोगों के प्रति संविधान और विधि के अनुसार न्याय करूंगा। मैं कीर्तिवर्धन सिंह ईश्वर की शपथ लेता हूं कि जो विषय संघ के राज्य मंत्री के रूप में मेरे विचार के लिए लाया जाएगा अथवा मुझे ज्ञात होगा, उसे किसी व्यक्ति